I'm going to show you how to write social media hooks that help your content go viral. A social media hook is the first line in your piece of content. It stops people scrolling, and if your hook is good enough, they'll engage with and share your content. Writing a good hook is key if you want your posts to reach more people and make an impact. You really got to sweat that first line. If you're going to write a social media hook, remember, it should only be a couple of words long. And you want to use everyday simple language. That's because people scan it rather than read it. I've created a massive Google Doc with 7 different types of hooks that I use for my content and for client content. And later in the video, I'll show you how you can get this exact Google Doc. Now, suffice to say, when you're using a hook from me or from another creator, you don't need to use it verbatim. In other words, you edit and change it to suit your writing style and your content. Think of them as a type of prompt. Now, here are the first type or types of hooks that I like to refer to. So these relate to personal achievements, journeys, and stories. In other words, if you're writing how I content and not how to content, if you're explaining how you achieve something or something that your business did, then you can use these types of hooks. So here's one example. Let's say you published a best-selling book on Amazon. Congratulations. Well, then you could use a hook like this. Last week, I published a bestseller on Amazon. Here's everything I learned about writing and publishing a best-selling book. And then you could give a breakdown of your marketing strategy. Morning routine content is all the rage on LinkedIn. Be wary if you're publishing this type of content because it can come across as a little bit cliched. That said, it can also work quite well, and you could use a hook like the morning routine that transformed my health and fitness. Or let's say you've tried a new tool or piece of software for your business and it's helping you get more results for you or for your clients. Well, then you could try something like, I tested, insert software tool of choice, for 30 days. Or if you've changed your business model recently, which is something that I've done, I moved from content publishing to working with clients, you could use a hook like, 1 year ago, I started X. X being your new business model or goal. And here's everything I've learned. Or if you've got something up and running that's helping you or your clients achieve success, you could use a hook like, the exact system I used to get 1,000 email subscribers in 30 days. I particularly like this type of hook. I've been working in and then describe your industry for X years because it serves as a good prompt. In other words, you can just write up a few lessons about what you know about your industry and chances are it's going to resonate with other followers on your timeline. Value content always does well on social media. Value content basically describes when you teach a topic or share your expertise or knowledge. Now, as much as I love value content, be wary of giving everything away for free. You still want people to have a reason to buy your products, services, courses, or whatever it is that you offer. If you're going to create value content, you can use hooks like these. Let's say you've learned copywriting. Well, then you could use a hook like, I'm going to teach you how to become a 6-figure copywriter. Or let's say you are building a newsletter and you've got tens of thousands of subscribers and it's helping you earn a nice income. Then you could use a hook like, my tools for running a 6-figure newsletter business. Or let's say you know something that goes against prevailing wisdom that you see on social media. Then you could use a hook like, the hidden truth about email marketing in our industry. I do like this hook. If you want your ideal customer, client, or avatar to achieve a very specific outcome, then you could use a hook like, I will show you how to have the best X of your life. And X being whatever it is that they want to do. And then in your post, after you've put in your hook, you're basically going to explain how your followers and how people engaging with your content can achieve what you've already done. In other words, you're going to teach. I worked as a copywriter for a few years, both in-house and freelance. A common approach to copywriting is to articulate a problem that your ideal client or customer has. And then you're going to present a solution to that problem. It's pretty easy to do and it works quite well if you know your market. And of course you can do it on social media pretty easily. Just consider using these problem solving and solution. So here's one example. Let's say you know your target customer or client needs more leads for their business. Stuck with 0 leads? Here's a free guide for getting 1,000 email subscribers this month. Or let's say you know that your target customer or client is emailing their list but they're not getting conversions. Then you could use a hook like, avoid these common errors when sending out a newsletter. Never struggle with back pain again using this simple exercise. Finally solved the lead generation problem everyone faces. Basically, the first line is going to summarize the problem And then the lines after that will elaborate on the problem a little bit, and then you're going to present your solution. And of course, you could wrap up that piece of content with a clear, crisp call to action for your products or services. Basically, if you have a list of problems that your target customer or client faces, you can turn those easily into hooks and then into pieces of content that should do well on social media. The reality is, people on social media, people on networks like LinkedIn are bored. Chances are they're using the app when they're on their commute, under the desk at a meeting, in work, or when they've nothing else to do. So this is where you can swoop in with a piece of content that provides a quick win. And you can use these types of hooks. If you're lazy but you still want to go viral, use these hooks. How I got 1 million page views to my website in just 6 months. 3-minute hack for better abs. 5 shortcuts that will help you turn your social media followers into clients. Here's the 80-20 rule of creating content that converts. Cut the time you spend writing in half using this exact prompt for ChatGPT. Creating content that goes viral is all about grabbing people's attention, invoking their curiosity, and basically stopping the scroll. So if you have an interesting insight, if you've come across a startling fact, or if you have some contrarian content that goes against prevailing wisdom, you could use these types of hooks. For example, this, and then insert the interesting fact that you've come across, will blow your mind. Or there's a really comforting fact about, and then you could write about the topic at hand, and then articulate an insight that you think is surprising. If I died tomorrow, here's everything you need to know about email marketing. Why your approach to goal setting isn't working. What nobody tells you about writing content that goes viral. In other words, you're writing content that's going to make people think twice, and it probably goes against all of the other cliched content they see in their feeds. Let's say you're writing thought leadership content. Let's say you want to write about the future of your industry. Or let's say you want to predict a trend. Then you can use these types of hooks. The next big trend in AI is here. And then you could articulate exactly what that is. Get ready for the new era of ChatGPT prompts. And then you could write about why you think prompts are changing. Or the future of the blockchain looks like this. And then you could articulate what you believe the future looks like based on your expertise and insights. Final type of hook that I like to use is for myth-busting content and reality checks. So consider your industry. Consider the common practices that people follow and the things that everyone does. What would you like to tell them that they should do differently? Then if you're going to create content like this, you can use these types of hooks. Why everything you know about going viral is wrong. The 7 most common myths about running a newsletter. The uncomfortable reality of solopreneurship. This type of content is pretty easy to write, and it's also quite fun to write too. And it gives your followers an insight into what things are really like inside of your business, and it tends to do quite well. Finally, I'm going to leave you with an advanced strategy that works quite well. It's called the rehook. So the rehook is basically the second line in a piece of content. The goal of the first line is to capture people's attention, and the goal of the second line is to keep them reading. And ideally, a rehook builds on the idea that you've articulated in the first line. So here's an example. The SEO industry is getting pummeled. So here's your hook. You're making a strong contrarian statement. People are publishing content with AI faster than ever. That's your rehook. It's invoking curiosity and building on your first line. And then in the rest of your post, you can articulate your thoughts on what it means to create content with AI, and perhaps why authentic content should be something that AI can never generate. Below this video, I'll give you a link where you can get this exact Google Doc. If you come across an interesting hook on LinkedIn or another social media network, add to your library of hooks. But remember, hooks that you come across aren't meant to be prescriptive. Customize them to suit your writing voice, to suit your content and the needs of your audience. And of course, this video comprises an entire playlist where I explain how you can get started on LinkedIn and find high-paying clients. So do check out the rest of the playlist as well. And if you have questions about any of the hooks, ask me in the comment section below this video.